All right, good afternoon, everybody. How we doing out there? Doc Severson with you here at ReadySetCrypto. Yep, it's just me. We have just me today with you guys. So the big voice dude is busy today. He is indisposed. So you've got me today, Doc Severson, and we can talk about markets and markets only. So we'll keep this short. Right? We don't need to go beyond, maybe 20 minutes or so. So if there is any particular coin pair that you guys want to take a look at, let me know. I want to show you a couple of things about how you can use technical analysis to evaluate the market. We are not here to predict the future. So if you ask me what's going to happen with a certain coin, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but I can show you how to evaluate the price action on it. Guys, welcome aboard. Let me know where you're coming in from today. My name is Doc Severson, and I'm coming to you from the hot and sweltering Greenville, South Carolina location. Nice and hot and sunny today. Love it. Last day of the quarter. This is the first half of the year has already gone by us. All right, so where is everybody going? Where's everybody coming in from today? All right, Darius is coming from Germany. Alemania. Okay, so Ilya wants to take a look at ETH versus BTC. That's cool. Oh, Coventry, wonderful. All-you-can-eat sushi restaurant in New York City. New York City? I have not been to New York City in, 2 years. 2 years since New York City. All right, we got a bunch of folks from the UK. I've not been to the UK since 2019, and I am jonesing to get back there again. Some of my favorite places. Actually, my mom was from Portchester, which is down near Portsmouth, Pumpy, as they say. So she grew up there. So I'm partially a Brit. I could actually get a Brit passport if I wanted to go through that, but I have to sign allegiance to the Queen. I'm not sure if I can do that. My country's okay. All right, let's get started here. I'm going to park myself. I'm going to put myself in purgatory down here in the lower left-hand corner. And there we go. We're going to take a look at some charts. Now, a couple of techniques that I want to show you guys. A lot of these revolve around price action. Okay, so what we have, certainly when we were in the bull here, we have higher highs and higher lows. These are all quite linear. But rule number 3 is that ascending channels break to the downside, or ascending patterns break to the downside. Everything happens like that. And for the same reason, we have descending patterns break to the upside eventually. Descending patterns break to the upside eventually. So a number of things are happening, and what I'd like you to do is to use most of your analysis on price action, because it's not delayed. It will never lie to you. Howdy from Texas, California. We have Birmingham. All right. So the one thing I will notice, or the one thing that a lot of people bring up is, here's the death cross. We have the 50-day crossing under the 200. I really don't care about that. That I have seen more failed death crosses than I care to mention. And if you go back and look at all these, death crosses that have happened over the years. I mean, here's another example, one that was a year and a half ago, and that failed, and it gave us a golden cross. So I'm not going to spend any time talking about that. What I am going to talk about is how different time frames will show reversals, right? So what we're looking at here is this is a 5-hour chart. 5-hour chart was in a downtrend, and all of a sudden we start to see it put in higher high and so far higher low. Now, what a lot of people don't understand is they think that markets just go like this. And they don't. They work in cyclic action. So you're going to see the price pull back, and this is where you have to avoid trading with everybody else and getting involved with the same emotions as everybody else. When you see something like this happen, this is actually an opportunity, because this is where the bearish sentiment picks up and everybody gets really, bearish and like skittish and starts to throw out their positions, or the bears can start to add positions here. And this is where we get the short squeeze from, because they've got weak hands and they cannot tolerate any loss. And so the first thing they're going to do is buy back that position, buy back a short position to close it. And this is where we get the short squeeze from. So we, fortunately or unfortunately, either way you go at this, you've got to have the sawtooth motion here. And this is what causes things. Also understand that the only reason that price moves is because somebody's in pain. And what you got to do is you got to figure out who's in pain and which way the price is likely to go from there. All right. We have Maureen from Columbus, Ohio. Welcome aboard. Okay, so a couple of things to look at here. So that's price action. And right now, we're starting to see some pretty good price action on Ethereum. Check this out. So this is confirming the higher highs and higher lows, and this is exactly what I want to see. These are shorts getting absolutely excoriated right now, which is good, right? This is the sort of thing that we need to see, and that's happening on the 5-hour chart. We can see this coming off of the daily chart, and what we need to see from here is if the price goes up like this, we need to see another higher low, build up the negativity, and then flush it out to the upside. Okay. Hey, Jim, good to see you again. Been a while. Okay. So that's one of the things that I want to bring up here is the price action. And the price action is actually, it looks better than it feels right now. The price action looks better than it feels. The other thing that I want to bring up here is there's so many tools that are out there, and knowing when to use which at any particular time is always important. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add and I don't even have a favorite for this because I just don't use it that often. But what I want to show you is the MACD. This is the moving average convergence divergence. And what I want to show you guys is what a divergence is. So we have the price making lower lows on higher lows on the histogram. So this is the MACD down here. And this is the moving average convergence divergence. This is how you combine two different moving averages in this, and it shows momentum. And so this is a class A divergence where we have lower lows in price and higher lows in the momentum, and especially the histogram is what I'm talking about here. So here is the histogram. So that's actually a fairly powerful signal. What it means is that the momentum to the downside has been interrupted and is starting to flip to the positive side. So that's a good thing. So that's something that I don't use all the time is MACDs, because it's like, I know when the price action is positive, right? I don't need some indicator to tell me that the candles are green. You don't need half the crap you stick on your charts, right? Stick with just the price action only. But something like this, where you can sort of read between the lines with divergence, is actually really, really useful. But I don't use it that often because we're trying to just find a bottom or a top. Actually, this is much more useful for bottoms than for identifying tops. Okay, so that's another thing to keep in your toolkit. Something else that I want to show you guys is very important, very powerful, and it's called volume profile. Volume profile. What this is showing on the right side is this is volume profile on TradingView. And to get into that, you just go to indicators and strategies. And if you look here, there's your volume profile. is one of these. So it's kind of a special study. And what this is showing here is this histogram shows the amount of relative volume that was transacted at a specific price. So when we have areas like this where the price just knifes right through it, there is literally no support or resistance there. And I want you to understand that support and resistance follows what are called these high volume nodes. These are high volume nodes. These are very important levels. So like for Ethereum, if Ethereum holds 1800, then all is good. If Ethereum breaks 1800, then it's in trouble, right? So you've got to be able to identify these price levels. So everybody wants to know, well, Doc, what's going to happen tomorrow? I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but I can tell you the price levels at which I would be bearish or bullish. Right now, I'm bullish on Ethereum above 1800 because support is holding. So here's, for example, we can look at this on Bitcoin. This is massive. 30,000, if 30,000 holds, then we're still bullish. If it breaks 30,000, if we start to trade below there, you can see how important this is because there's no supports until we get to about 22,000 or maybe even 20,000. 20,000 is the main node here. So this is extremely important that this holds here at about 30,000. So as long as it's just going to bounce around here and flush out the bears and just irritate both sides of it, that's okay. As long as it eventually does transition back into an uptrend. And pretty soon we're going to be working off this big, huge monthly chart rally to the upside, and we're going to have the energy to be able to rally again. We'll see. Okay, so those are really three things I wanted to bring up to you guys. Is don't do the social investing thing. Don't go onto Twitter and then get influenced and get cognitive bias based on somebody telling you that something's going to happen. Because what happens is you stick the blinders on and you can't see anything anymore. So learn to think independently, use charts to think independently, think differently from the herd. Don't look for somebody to tell you what's going to happen tomorrow because it's just not going to work out like that. Okay? All right. So with that in mind, that's really all I wanted to bring up to you guys. Again, keep it simple. Don't put 14 different studies on your charts because you'll compress the price action. You won't be able to see what's going on. I've been doing this now for a living for about the last 16 years, and I've seen just about everything. And after a while, you get used to seeing the same thing over and over again, and you become a lot less biased by what's happening in front of you. It allows you to become a little bit more objective. So, okay. So what pairs would you guys like to see? Is there anything in particular that you guys want to take a look at or evaluate? Let me know. I know I'm a few seconds behind you guys, the streaming latency and all that stuff, but what is my winning rate percentage? It depends. Most of my trading takes place in the equities market, Seb, and the winning rate percentage right now is 82%, and I have about a 3.0 profit factor. Depends on the strategy, though, because some of the strategies that I use, profit factor is closer to 8 and with a 96% winning rate. So it really depends on what I can do. I'm a lot more effective when I can trade a very healthy option chain. Okay, so let's see. Now, some of these pairs I might not be able to find. I don't know. Depends on what I can do here with. So Link. I'm assuming you mean USD and not USB. Right, so Chainlink. Okay, so Chainlink has got, the point of control for this is down about 12.5. So that is the major level of support. This thing has gone through, it's given back just about everything here. Now, the other thing that I didn't talk about is if we go out to something like the monthly chart, oh, that doesn't look very good. Let's try the weekly chart. Yeah, this is giving back just about all of it. So it's got nowhere to go but up from here. You've already been through the pain, but I guarantee that this will be showing, if we look at the same thing here, if we look at MACD on this, we're going to see positive divergence as well too. But yeah, this thing has been through the ringer. There's positive divergence. So look for this. What I want you to look for is look for this trend line to break to the upside, because we have positive divergence and descending patterns break to the upside. No, there's no guarantee it's going to be any good. It might just break higher to a lower high, but it's at least something at this point. But right now it's got to hold 16. Otherwise there's nothing below it. Okay, so let's look at another one that was requested is Silo. And I don't seem to be able to find Silo versus BTC. So we'll just look at this just on a price level. So this is Silo versus Tether. Okay, so we don't have a whole lot of history for this thing, and this has already given back much of it, but we do have positive divergence here. This is almost a Class A divergence level. We have broken this descending pattern to the upside, right? So that starts to look good. We can see on the 5-hour chart, we have a nice little uptrend here over the last couple of days since the 21st. Nice uptrend. Has that transitioned over to the daily chart as an uptrend? No, that's just an upswing. So what I want to see for Silo is I want to see the Silo pull back, freak out everybody, and then pivot and run from that higher low. So it's got to pull down to a higher low to get any kind of impetus and slingshot potential to move to the upside. Let's see, AMPL perpetual on FTX. I've got an FTX account, but I don't want to bring it up right now because I don't want to go through the whole authentication process for that. Is there any other way that I can just bring this up on TradingView, Jim? Let's just try it versus the US dollar here. If this is the same coin that you're looking at, this one has no trend whatsoever. We have no trend on this. This is almost impossible to identify any kind of technique to use for something like this. We got support, we got resistance, and it's just bouncing between them. Okay, VeChain. I know that one. No, this is Vermilion Energy. Let's go with VeChain versus the US dollar. Okay, so a lot of coins have got exactly the same pattern to them. This again has got positive divergence. This has bounced off the last couple of days. Same deal here is that you want to see this thing drive a little higher, pull down, put in a higher low, and then reverse back to the upside again. Okay, so let's see. Icon. Man, that's a blast from the past. Icon versus USDT. So doesn't everything look exactly the same? I mean, every coin looks almost exactly the same right now. So if you overlay these with Bitcoin, you're going to find a tremendous amount of correlation right now. And this is pretty typical through a bear market, is bear markets. And I'm calling this a bear market. This is just a very deep correction right now. This is a shake off. If we start to see BTC below 30,000 with any kind of regularity, then yeah, it's over for now. It could be just a 6-month bear. But right now, as long as we're above 30,000 on BTC USD, it's still bull. And you can verify that by going out to your North Star, look in the monthly chart. right? Look in the monthly chart. If we go out to a log chart on BTC versus US dollar, monthly BTC, there we go. What does that look like to you? If you look at Bitcoin versus US dollar in a log monthly chart, what does that look like to you? Does that look like a bear market? Does that look like a downtrend? I agree, Ilya. Ethereum is strengthening over BTC. Now, a lot of pundits have been really hopping on the Ethereum bandwagon lately. I think that's the reason why. Yeah, okay. So Hassan wants to take a look at, but yeah, check that out. That is my North Star. That is what's keeping me in things, right? So yeah, I've gotten assigned. I've bought BTC at higher levels. I'm going to hold on to it. I don't care. But this is going to keep me, this gives me perspective in terms of the trend. This gives me confidence that this is just a short-term shakeout. If it gets worse than this, we'll see 20,000 broken. And then we know that we're in for a little bit more of a winter. Okay, so let's go to Hassan and ADA. Let's get off of the monthly chart for a minute. Okay, let's get off the log. There we go. ADA is, Cardano is actually doing quite well. It's bounced pretty hard off of this level. You can see if we go out to a volume profile, if we got to volume profile, we're going to see a really strong volume profile here on Cardano, and that's about $1.20. Super strong. This has got to hold for Cardano. If it drops below here, say goodnight. Point of control is all the way down here. But right now, this looks pretty good as a good beginning. Again, it's a first step. It's understanding how to put the puzzle pieces together. Okay, so Hex versus BTC. I'll just do a couple more, and then I'll let you guys go and go grab a beer or whatever you're doing on your Thursday. Let's see, Hex BTC. I don't have the ability to look at this. But I can do just a basic versus stable. So Hex actually looks really good. Seb, Mr. Seb. Hex looks really good versus US dollar right now. So this is on Uniswap. This is, it doesn't matter what trend we look at. Daily chart looks good. We see, this is the one thing I like to see. I like to see the price driving up to a high. In this case is 7 cents, dropping down, consolidating, breaking above, and then this is called the swing test. And it survived the swing test. Think of it this way. It's almost like you live in an apartment and you're banging on the ceiling. You're banging on the ceiling. And one day you bang so hard on that ceiling that you break through. And next thing you know, you're on the next floor and the floor is holding. And so that's what support and resistance, that's what a swing test looks like. So Hex looks really good. Let's see, Polkadot. Polkadot looks like everything else right now. Unfortunately, it really does need to hold the $16 level. Polkadot does. That's the last major node. Otherwise, you're heading all the way down here. There's very little support below this. So keep that in mind. And then let's see, Ave Maria. Let's see, let's look at the FTX one. God, it looks like everything else, right? This one has unfortunately, this one was super strong not that long ago, and I don't know what happened here. Let me take a look at Coinbase and see if this is any different. No, it's not. Yeah, so this one has not survived. And this one, the last line of defense is down here at about 200. And if it is not able to find this node as support, then it's going to drop to 125 as the next node, then 75. See, this is what's called the point of control here. This is where most of the trading is taken place, and it's unfortunately is below that. It's below that. Okay. All right, guys. That's all the torture I want to put you through. Thanks everybody for hanging out with me here today. Hopefully you learned a couple of things. Let us know how we can help you. So either if you look in the descriptions below this video, you can find our Discord. You're welcome to join our Discord. If you're more interested in the equity markets, then you can sign up for a free account at elite.readyset.trade. Be part of our 10X tribe and read my writings every day, and those kind of things that we do. We do videos and we do posts in there, as well as a community as well too. So it depends on what you want to do, whether you want to do equities or whether you want to do crypto. So either way, we can handle you guys, or you're certainly welcome to join us at the Omnia service and get this every day. So thanks everybody. You guys take care. Everybody out there, be good, or damn it, be good at it. You guys take care. We'll see you soon. Adios, amigos.